Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to Rangers Ready Go. It is early this morning, Saturday, March 2nd. Just finished watching the premiere of Power Rangers Beast Morphers on Nickelodeon. I'll go ahead and start by saying I'm actually pleasantly surprised. For once, yes, pleasantly surprised. I liked it. I know, coming from a guy like me who completely crapped on Power Rangers Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, but rightfully so. But that was Saban. Now we're in the Hasbro era. There are some problems that I'm going to point out, but I'm going to get to the positives first, because, you know, being positive isn't exactly my forte. Let's start with the episode itself, Beasts Unleashed. This is episode 1. Okay? Starts out with a news reporter standing outside of Grid Battle Force, which is our version of Go Busters Command, if you've seen Tokime Sentai Go Busters. Explaining basically to the entire population of Coral Harbor, which is the name of this town, or seemingly to the rest of the world, that their scientists have tapped into the morphing grid for an unlimited supply of clean energy. How? How did a normal Earth scientist tap into the morphing grid? Wasn't the morphing grid explained as like this universal power source that was supposed to be hidden from plain sight, something that's not supposed to be able to be tapped into? That's why the monsters, all the villains that we've had up to this point, have always tried to steal the Rangers' powers, because of the power in the morphing grid is such an unlimited power source. That's why it's sought after so much. They just easily tap into it. They basically accomplished what all the villains in the past could not. And just because they wanted some clean energy. Yeah. Oh well. The mayor of the town happens to be the father of Devin, the Red Ranger for this series. I'll go ahead and get out of the way. I was, again, I'll use the phrase pleasantly surprised at Rory D. Travis, the actor who plays Devin, the Red Ranger. I was skeptical at first because of his sordid background when it comes to past jobs before he was acting in Power Rangers. It's no secret that he was for a short time, a male dancer. Not a stripper or anything like that, no. A male dancer, an entertainer. And I can get that. But getting off of that, like I said, I want to try to stay positive. The first scene after the news report that they are getting ready to switch on the morphing grid to tap into power for the entire city and, like she said, eventually the world. We cut to a gym that looks very similar to the rec center in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It really does. But instead of the recreation area just being filled with some mats and some exercise equipment, it's more or less a karate dojo, I suppose. And this is where we're introduced to the majority of our characters, such as Devin the Red Ranger, Blaze, which I'm guessing was supposed to be the karate instructor, but a karate instructor doesn't attack his students. But then again, if I was a sensei in a karate dojo, I wouldn't want my karate student dancing to music while I'm trying to teach a lesson. So that would make me upset too, and it warranted Blaze, the instructor, to attack Devin, because Devin decided to be cocky and sarcastic and say, well, maybe I'd be more interested if you'd show me some more interesting moves. So he just attacks him. But of course, because Devin is our protagonist, he is one of the heroes of the show, of course, he's going to best the sensei, which begs the question, why are you even in that class? If you can defeat the sensei, the person instructing you, why are you even there? You're obviously better than him. You don't need to be there. Okay. Devin's father, the mayor, shows up and tells him that he is leaving now. He got in trouble by his dad. Seemingly, he's got some daddy issues. Now, apparently on the limousine ride, because, you know, all mayors ride in limousines, he is on his way to Grid Battle Force to investigate the Beast Morph X, or Beast... whatever they're calling the energy in this. I swear, they couldn't get more confusing with the names in this series. Well, Devin's father decides to leave his clearance badge just laying right out in the open, not paying attention to what he's doing. And because Devin hears that there is a really cool battle simulator at Grid Battle Force, he wants to go and check it out. But his father, of course, being an uptight mayor, won't let him. So he decides to take a picture of his father's clearance badge on his phone. Does that work? Can I just scan a security clearance badge? Like, take a picture of it on my phone and it'll actually work? I can get into pretty much anywhere? I don't think it works that way. I really don't. But I'd be interested to find out. Anyway, he does sneak in to Grid Battle Force using his father's ripped off clearance badge. But not before the mayor is stopped by what I'm guessing are going to be this series' comic relief. I don't know their names. I didn't really hear any names. I didn't bother looking for a name badge or anything on them, but there was a guy and a short girl. And let's just say they weren't funny. They were just obnoxious and kind of in the way. But when it comes to comic relief, hopefully they're not going to be the only thing that the show focuses on is these two characters, because we had enough of that with the ass clowns that were Victor and Monty from Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Less Victor and Monty is better, and I don't care what anybody says. If you thought Victor and Monty was funny, you need your head checked. Or you just need to grow up, because fart jokes aren't funny. Well, as Devin's father, the mayor, is being held up by these two clowns in the security lounge, he just walks right up to the scanner with the picture he took of his father's clearance badge on the phone, and then beep, gets him right in. Again, I'd like to know if that works or not. Decides to disguise himself as a scientist for Grid Battle Force, just so he can get a peek at the battle simulator. But instead, he is stopped by a personnel at Grid Battle Force and tells him that he needs to go to the morphing lab right away. Okay. Along Devin's father, the mayor's journey through Grid Battle Force to meet apparently a child prodigy scientist named Nate. He's looks like he's 15, 16 years old or something like that. May not even be that old. I don't know why they're going that route with this scientist, why he has to be a kid still, but oh well, I guess because it's Hasbro now and they market to kids, we got to have more kids in the show. Fair enough, I suppose. Well, like I said, along the way, his father meets Zoe, which is, I guess, the laundry girl. Zoe ends up becoming the Yellow Ranger. Let's just get that out of the way. Well, once Devin finds himself in the morphing lab, he almost runs into his father, which would be an awkward confrontation considering his father didn't want him there to begin with. It's early, guys. Bear with me. I'm usually not up this early. You know, married, father of 4, full-time job, and YouTube. Yeah, I get pretty tired. Well, just after Devon's father, the mayor, basically tries to tell the scientists that you really think it's a good idea tapping into the morphing grid when all of these other monsters, as I just said at the beginning, have tried to get their hands on this energy. And he even drops names like Rita Repulsa and Sledge and Galvanax. But again, why nothing in between? There were a lot better villains. A hell of a lot better villains than Sledge, I know that. I mean, I love Dino Charge, but the one aspect of Dino Charge I didn't like was Sledge. As Devon is hiding from his father in the morphing lab, he is next to a, what I'm guessing is an energy tank of some kind, and he sees an image of a cyber snake, which obviously in his mind he automatically thinks virus. So the snake pops up, basically just jumps at him, gives him a jump scare, and he falls back into some equipment, alerting everyone of his presence, and he ends up getting thrown in a detention cell. But not before trying to tell Nate, the child prodigy scientist, that he believes that there is a virus in his system and he should check. Well, he checks and says there are no viruses. Again, if this is supposed to be their top scientist, a child prodigy that created the system to tap into the morphing grid energy and create his own Power Rangers, he can't detect a simple virus in his system? Oh well. That's scripting for you. Basically, just as all of this happens, the Rangers, 3 Rangers, are getting ready to become the Power Rangers, getting ready to have their DNA blended with that of a cheetah, gorilla, and jackrabbit. Well, just as they are booting up the system to create these Power Rangers, of course, that's when the virus decides to attack, and Blaze was actually supposed to be the Red Ranger. You know, the guy who attacked Devon at the beginning of the episode because he insulted him, I suppose, by telling him that his moves weren't interesting. Again, a hero for you, I suppose. But that doesn't happen because when the virus infects the morphing grid, not only does Blaze, the would-be Red Ranger, he is corrupted, seemingly is turned unconscious, falls to the floor, and in his place is an avatar of what we all called Dark Buster from Tokimei Sentai Go Busters. Now, Dark Buster, this is one of the negatives that's going to bug me probably throughout this entire series. I'll probably mention it several times, that Dark Buster was only seen once. Once at the very final episode of Power Rangers, no, not Power Rangers, Tokimei Sentai Go Busters, the Japanese Sentai series that this was adapted from. One episode that we saw this supposed Dark Ranger, Dark Buster, if you will. I have no idea what they're going to call him in this series yet. Or if I had mentioned it, I probably already forgot. But, so Blaze is unconscious. He now has an evil avatar, uses his face and everything. And the would-be Yellow Ranger, again, I didn't bother to remember her name. I think they mentioned it once. She is turned into Escape from Tokimei Sentai Go Busters. Escape was the secondary antagonist aside from Enter. Enter was the antagonist that became Dark Buster in the very final episode. So basically, we're getting the final form villains from Tokimei Sentai Go Busters in the very first episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Okay, that's a switch, but they've done it before. They really have. I'm trying to stay positive, I said, I enjoyed this for the most part. And I'm going to try to wrap this up because I know it's probably already getting pretty long and drawn out, guys. I'm sorry. Like I said early, I ramble. Well, so the original Red Ranger and Yellow Ranger, they're out of the picture. The only original Ranger that they had planned was that, still became the Ranger he was supposed to, was Robbie, I believe is his name. The Blue Ranger. He tries to fight the two villains, the two avatars that were just created from the virus through the morphing grid. To no avail, he gets his butt kicked. And just as the Escape, I guess, she doesn't have a name yet. I don't know what else to call her, guys. Sorry, it's Escape. She tries to bind Devin, Zoe the laundry girl, and the Blue Ranger in steel tentacles. But strangely enough, as she has them held, she's forcing them back into the morphing tanks. So that's smart. Then Nate, the child prodigy scientist, decided to use a little blaster to blast a steel grating above the morphing tanks to dislodge the tentacles from our heroes. And as that happens, they're still standing there in the tanks, in their individual tanks, and Nate hits a few buttons and they morph into the Power Rangers. So while the Blue Ranger that was intended is still the Blue Ranger, the Red Ranger and Yellow Ranger are apparently just thrown into the mix. They didn't wake up that morning thinking they were going to be Power Rangers at the end of the day. Who would? But of course, they're cool with it. Again, who wouldn't be? They seem to get the better of Dark Buster and Escape. Enter and Escape. I don't know what else to call him at the moment. And they have Nate, the scientist, basically use his technology to teleport them to a different dimension, apparently. But of course he says, oh, well, that won't hold them long. They'll be back. There was an interesting fight sequence here. More action than most first episodes of a Power Ranger series. I remember the very first episode of Power Rangers Dino Charge. While I liked Dino Charge in its entirety, the first episode was rather lackluster. Literally, it was like 20 minutes of talk, and in the last 2 minutes, we got to see the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger morph, and that was it. But at least in this, we got to see a little bit of character development, some really good production quality. That's actually one positive thing that I do want to mention. This actually had really good production quality. Hasbro is putting money into this. Now, I hear that they are still working with the Saban team, which I kind of wish they wouldn't. Because if it's not Saban anymore, I think the production team should be all Hasbro. It really should be. But this wasn't bad. I liked how everything was nice and bright and vibrant and clean looking. They put effort into it, guys. They really did. They put a lot of effort into it. And the special effects, aside from the tentacle scene, which those effects were kind of bad, all the other effects that I saw were top-notch effects, at least for a live-action Nickelodeon show, guys. I mean, it was pretty impressive, better than any other effects that I've seen, like I said, in a long time in a Power Ranger series. Not like those crappy CG Zord effects from Ninja Steel. Oh my God, were those were hard to watch and literally hurt my eyes. Commodore 64 graphics, if you will. That's just a joke. Not that bad, but still damn bad. After they send Enter and Escape to another dimension, and they claim that they will be back because they're intelligent avatars. How does he know they're intelligent? Just because they're avatars? They're part of the morphing grid. They were in the morphing grid. I don't know. But here's a bit of a weird thing. at the very end, when they're wrapping everything up for this episode, the officers at Grid Battle Force, they just seem to be completely fine with the fact that Devin and Zoe are the Red and Yellow Ranger, even though they have no idea really who these people are. Yeah, Zoe was the laundry girl, but she had seemingly no battle experience, but it seemed like she did. So, how does a laundry girl know how to fight? It's just weird. And like I said, the fact that they were okay with it, they didn't reprimand saying, "Oh no, you can't have the power," but you can't be the Power Rangers because you weren't trained for this, that kind of thing. But I think they're going with the whole fact that their DNA is now blended with these animals, and you can't unblend it now. I guess once it's done, it can't be undone. So that's why the commander, she says, "You are the Power Rangers." And then shoos them off to the battle simulator to learn some skills on how to fight. Didn't we just witness that they have skills and know how to fight? Granted, you could always learn more skills, but they're Power Rangers. All you need is the suit, apparently. And apparently all of a sudden you know how to fight. Again, I'm staying positive about this. I'm actually looking forward to the next episode. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm looking forward to the next episode. And that was one thing that I didn't look forward to when it came to Ninja Steel or Super Ninja Steel. I dreaded every single moment thinking about having to do a review, having to put myself through another episode of Ninja Steel. It was just so bad, guys. This is a refreshing change. I am optimistic. I'm positive. I am looking forward to it, guys. This was actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say it was fun. It was fun to see this nice, refreshing change. So Hasbro, whatever you're doing, keep it up, because so far you're on the right track. Just remember, tone down the comic reliefs. We don't need that much comedy in it. It is, after all, an action show, not a comedy. It's not a Saturday morning cartoon. Even though, apparently, I just found out that this will be premiering every Saturday, at least when they have the next episode queued for it to air on Nick. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, guys. It's no longer at noon on Saturdays. So be prepared for lots of early mornings. I hope you have DVR like I do, because I think this is probably going to be one of the only times I'm going to get up this early to watch it as it airs. I'm probably just going to DVR it, sleep in, wake up, then watch it. But who knows? I might get excited for an episode and want to wake up early to watch it as it airs. And before I close this out, I just wanted to point out two more small things that I think are, which I would consider negatives. One, that opening theme was ghastly. That was horrid. That was uninspired and bland. It was just 30 seconds of a synthesized voice saying, "Go, go, Power Rangers." Where's the heart? Where's the love? An opening theme is supposed to get you worked up and hyped and excited for a show. It's supposed to give you some feels. I didn't feel anything other than, okay, that was a thing that happened. That was quick. And am I mistaken? Somebody let me know in the comment section below. Watch the episode, watch the theme, the opening theme again. At the very beginning of it, tell me, does it say Cowboy Rangers? Please let me know, because I could have swore that's what my ears heard. It starts out going, Cowboy Rangers. Please, let me know. I'd love to know. Drop it in the comment section below. Listen to it again and let me know if that's exactly what you think they're saying too, because that was just weird. And the other negative of this was, again, the comic relief aspect. Those two characters, those two security guard characters in the lobby of Grid Battle Force. I don't know what you're planning on doing with those characters, Hasbro, but let me recommend that you don't do much with them, because that was just kind of, it wasn't funny. It was just awkward and just kind of slowed everything down to a halt. It's unnecessary. So if you have plans on doing anything else with those two characters, tone it down, please, because that was just a no for me. But everything else was great, guys. It was super. Not as super as Super Sentai, but it was still super. It was good. It was a good start for a fresh Power Rangers series, but from a fresh perspective, being Hasbro and not Saban. So, guys, let me know what you thought of this first episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Episode 1, Beasts Unleashed. I'm sure we will see the actual morphing sequence and some more weapons and features and probably some Zords in the second episode coming this next coming Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, let me know what you guys all thought. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you looking forward to the rest of this series? And will it be what we wanted an adaptation of Tokime Sentai Go Busters to be? That's it, guys. And until my next review, I'm Paul. This is Rangers Ready Go. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You all know the deal. Still on my way to 1,000 subscribers. Got lots of stuff to give away. Got giveaway contests coming up. But I have to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys. Please. So, if you like Power Rangers as much as I do, Super Sentai, cosplay, all that kind of good stuff, bang, zoom to the moon. Come on. Give me some subs, guys. I would really, really appreciate it. Talk to you guys later.